maybe one day I can actually tell everybody my story of who I am and how I came to be. You know, it's a long story. A lot of things I endure, a lot of things I wasn't supposed to see as a child, and so on and so forth. But that ain't what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is everybody have a story. Mine, as well as anybody else. I don't look down on nobody, from homeless people to nothing. Cause I'm homeless my damn self. It might not look like it, cause I know how to carry myself. And you know, I got a mind up here. You hear me? But everybody got a story in their own way of how they, you know, fell to the position that they fell in. Mine was behind a woman. I wound up giving up everything. I had my own house. I ain't had no car, but I had my own house, job. I ain't had to worry about nothing. I'm the type of man that sit there and make sure business is taken care of before a person even must get down to pleasure. You hear me? You know, I'm gonna make sure everything's taken care of. Make sure the rent paid in advance. Make sure the lights, all that a person don't have to worry about. Damn, when the bill come, you gotta wait all the way until the bill date to pay that. No, I take care of that shit right out the back. So then I have time and I have money to do what I want to do. That's the kind of person I am. A man that's about business. You hear me? I put business before pleasure, man. I'm not no dude that, you know, I ain't got no Fendi belt. I ain't got no Jordans, none of that kind of stuff. Walmart shoes, I'm satisfied with that. You hear me? Shirts probably from, you know, Walmart City Trend, I'm cool with that, you know. I ain't no person of all fashion because that's materialistic stuff to me. You can't take none of that with you when you leave this earth, can you? No. At the end of the day, you're going to be buried in one piece of clothes anyway. You hear me? Or whatever that your family or whoever decide to put on you while you in that casket or they cremate you. So materialistic stuff don't mean nothing to me. Business do, you hear me? Business is what makes the world go around, what make money be spent, make money come into the pockets, and so on and so forth, you hear me? But, you know, I had my own. I ain't had to worry about nothing. So I met a woman, you hear me? I thought she was different from everybody else. So, you know, I fell in love. Still was taking care of her place and mine at the same time, just multitasking, you hear me? Something I'm good at too. Like I'm very good at multitasking. I am multi-talented and a lot of other stuff too. But anyway, you know, wind up sitting there leaving my house. I gave all my stuff up to go stay with her and her kids. You know, I became the stepdaddy while she was still dealing with, you know, the drama of the baby daddy still with his whole ass shit, even though he had an old lady just still trying to intervene in her life and fuck her life up and shit. And, you know, I'm in it too. You know, letting this nigga know, you know, I ain't no hoe ass nigga, none of that shit. You got the right kind of nigga, you hear me? Because I'm really with the shits. I do this shit, you hear me? I've been doing this. I've been stamped Baton Rouge, man. Way before a lot of other people became who they is and got the name that they do have, you hear me? I've been doing a lot. Like, I've been around. To say I'm 29, I've been around. But anyway, so, you know, me and her, everything, this, that, and the other. You know, we wind up holding our relationship down for 6 years. And to the ending part, that's when I started finding out shit that I didn't even know about. You know, I thought I was loving her, doing what a man's supposed to do, pay bills, you know, rub feet, you know, sit there and rub backs, you know, run the water, make sure, you know, she's straight. Sitting there, you know, whatever she asks me to go get something out of the kitchen, I do it. Whatever she asks me to do, I do, you hear me? Try to make, you know, everything eased in a relationship of when you're going with somebody, you know, that you love, you hear me? Because, like I say, love, trust, and all that stuff, yeah, that's all in a relationship. But if you don't love a person by not checking up or worrying about them, you don't love them. Love is when you check up on that person. You want to know if that person doing all right. That person, you know, you care about them, so on and so forth. Everybody got their different opinion on love, but love is love at the end of the day. Because love is when you sit there and you show. Not tell, you show. Actions speak louder than words. But anyway, I ain't know she was, you know, doing what she doing. Fucked around with a nigga. Fucked her ex while we was still in a relationship. That hurt in my heart. I try to kill her. I ain't gonna sit there and lie. I don't put my hands on women, but that shit had hurt my damn heart to the bone. Like, damn. You know, I'm a nigga. I ain't out here fucking no hoes and none of that shit. I'm faithful to you. You know, fuck these other females and so on and so forth. That shit didn't matter. So, you know, it was on her son's birthday. I don't forget nothing. Like, I really flashed, man. I put my hand around her throat and, you know, try to choke her to death, but something told me to let go. And I did exactly that, man, because it wouldn't work. But hey, I guess we was a toxic relationship because we wound up still talking to each other and all that, which got all the way up to 6 years together, which is married time. I tried to marry, she didn't want to marry. So on and so forth, you know. I ain't gonna say I'm Mr. Perfect and all that, because everybody got flaws and all this and that. We all do. Ain't nobody damn perfect. Only person perfect is Jesus. The only person that perfect that walked this earth. But anyway, you know, she wound up fucking with a bitch ass nigga that I wound up fighting all that. While we was together for 6 years, she was talking to this nigga before. Just that's what made me, you know, analyze myself when it come down to women, because women ain't to be trusted. And I ain't gonna say all, but most ain't to be trusted. They lie to your face. They'll tell you, oh, that kitty yours and all this. Ain't none of that shit is for the nigga, bruh. It's what she choose to do. She choose to be with the nigga she choose. She don't have to. Until a ring is put on a female finger, that's when she's obligated. But before that even much happens, she don't have to do a lot of things. She choose to do it. She choose to be faithful. She choose to love you. She choose to be there. She choose to do things for you. That's just how it be. You hear me? But anyway, you know, she did that damn bad. You hear me? I wound up finding half all that out, you know, once we broke up, that she was paid money for this man to get a car and so on and so forth, man. This dude kept blocking up the street and all that, looking at me and all that. There's a lot of shit that escalated from that situation too, you know. I letting this nigga know, man, I'm living like that. Like, really, we wound up tearing it down and all that. This nigga snuck me, but he couldn't do nothing with me. You hear me? Only reason I ain't flexed this nigga out bad as a motherfucker, cause my arm kept popping out the socket, which I don't know how the hell I even suffer from a condition like that. But it's just crazy. So on and so forth. Time go on, you know. Just a lot of shit. She wound up getting a house with the nigga and all this and that. That's what left me homeless. I was staying in that house with nothing in there. She moved all her shit out into the home that she was with this nigga. You hear me? And, you know, I'm laying on the floor and all. I'm just thinking about, damn, I'm really fucked up with it, man. I really gave everything up for a woman that I thought was different, you know. I guess she felt sorry and all this and that, so she let me come to this nigga house, because this nigga was he was working way in Utah, so, you know. Still, in my degree, I'm homeless because I don't have a home, none of that shit. I was staying in my car before she even much invited me over there. You know, my car wasn't working. There's a lot of shit. I had to get to work and all this. That she must have felt sorry because she put me in a situation up so, which is two sides of every story. And taking me to work, coming to get me. I used to sit there and be in this nigga house while this nigga way in Utah, sleeping on the floor while she sleep in a room on the phone with this nigga and all this. It hurts me. It hurted me bad. You know, because I really dedicated myself to her. I put in being a father figure to the kids when the niggas didn't even step up to be a father to the kids. Like, I basically raised the kids. It was just so much. So, I mean, long story short, it been 10 months since I've been homeless, but, you know, I got a head on my shoulders, you know. You know, the only really person been in my corner on that situation is her, even though she put me in that situation. Let me come take showers and all that while that nigga ain't done, so on and so forth. You know, which I don't worry about none of that shit. If a nigga was to ever sit there and come, me get caught or anything, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. That nigga didn't give a fuck about my relationship. Obviously didn't either. But I mean, you know, life just messed up in so many ways. Everybody got a story on, you know, basically their life. It just is what it is. Mine messed up, but I'm still working towards to make my stuff greater. You hear me? Every day is a learning process and a day to learn more and more that you didn't know the day before then. You know? That's why I have the trust issues of so that I have now when it comes down to women, because, you know, I didn't think that was going to happen to me. I didn't think she was going to sit there and go fuck a nigga. She fucked that nigga when she sit there and left and went out of town when Hurricane Ida had hit. And I told her to go ahead and go with the kids. I didn't know she was going to go do some shit like that, but she did. You know, I've been hurt to the core with my own self to be who that made me. I wasn't taking anxiety and depression pills, man. Depression pills. And so I had to deal with what I was dealing with in the home with her. I had chances to go, but I wanted to stay because I know how God works situations out, you hear me? When you really and truly love that person, but that person didn't love me because she kept on telling me she wasn't in love. But, and me, I love this person to death. And, I pray to God that, try to make this stuff work. But in the end, it got me down in a hole that I'm digging myself out of. So, I mean, basically, that's my life right now. 10 months strong, homeless, but still pushing on, still pushing forward. Give all glory to God, you hear me? I know my mama from above, my daddy from above, my nigga from above, and everybody that I lost that's up there in heaven still pushing me, you hear me, to push forward. And that's what I'm doing. Everybody got a story. So anybody that in this kind of situation, or before you get to that situation, and a woman tell you she don't love you, just go, man. I know it's gonna hurt, but you've been with that person. That go for female or dude. Just go. You won't end up in a situation like I am in. You hear me? You have to deal with the constant, repeated over and over things that you have done, that you have did, that you have went through, that you have been through, that you have put up with, that you have been scarred to, even much in relationships and so on and so forth. It might not look like it on the outside, like I'm hurting and all this and that, because I'm just a funny person, this, that, and other. But deep down inside, I'm hurt. I'm cut. Like I ain't really got no heart. But this is what it is, man. That's just my story for what I'm going through right now. And everything may look like it's peaches and cream. It ain't. I just make it of what I can because God put a head on my shoulders for me to think. You hear me? He gave me a heart to love. He made me into who I am and making me even better as he molded and shaped me, and I decreasing myself and he increasing me as being a man of God, child of God, son of God. You hear me? And that's what I try to be every single day, better than I was the next day, even through my whole situation. But I'm just letting y'all know, man. Everybody has a story on they point where they fall to rock bottom. And my rock bottom was that I'm going through now. There's always two sides to the story, but me, I don't have to lie. I don't get nothing out of none of that. It just is what it is at the end of the day, right?